Men of Stone, Chapter 13. A slow smile curved across Fish's face. I can do that, but you aren't exactly in condition. He won't bother me right away. He's too smart for that. He'll lay low for a while, till he realizes I haven't ratted on him. We can go to my gym. Use the ring there. I nodded. Have you heard anything from Stan? Nah, nobody has. I tried calling his house, but his dad didn't know anything. The police are looking for him. He can't run forever, though, right? He'll be back, I said with more conviction than I felt. Deep down, I wondered if we'd ever see him again. We watched some television, and then Fish left. I kept the tube on for company, but I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't see anything except the picture in my head of Claude, crumpled and bloody at my feet. I woke early with an ancient nurse holding my wrist. Before my vision cleared, I thought it was Aunt Frida. You'll be able to go home today, young man. How did you sleep? I'd had stupid dreams all night. Claude's ugly mug, Stan floating in and out, my sister singing in a choir. That was a weird one. And through the entire thing, like a cheesy soundtrack, a chant, lice, 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 like a baby. Mom picked me up at the hospital that afternoon. She drove home telling me stories about her students, mostly rambling on about nothing. I nodded once in a while to give her impression that I was listening. Where's the marching band? I asked, after Beth insisted on seating me down in the lazy boy recliner. As I expected, the girls were using the incident as an event. There was a welcome home banner, chocolate cake, an armload of flowers. What 15-year-old boy would love that? And lots of painful hugging. It wasn't that I didn't appreciate the thought, but you guys are too much, I said. They beamed through teary eyes at me. Poor Benjo, how could anyone hit, said Beth. Such a cute face. What kind of creep, added Mad. The world is full of creeps, Joni muttered. We're all so glad you're not like that, Benny, Beth again. I forced my lips to smile in a smile-like configuration. I'm going to my room for a while. Beth and Mad sprang forward. Let us help you. I pushed their flailing hands away and could see the hurt look on their identical faces. Aunt Frida looked small and concerned in the corner. I couldn't meet her eyes. As I left the room, Mum was explaining the effects of traumatic injury. She was good at outlining the facts, the hows. It was the whys she had trouble with. Go ahead, figure this one away, Mum. I knew they'd chew this whole thing over for the entire evening. They'd examine the psychosociological factors and make it into some big cosmic thing. Not that they agree on what that was, but it was simple. Claude beat me up. I was going to pay him back. Revenge. Finally beat up on every bad thing ever done to me. Every guy who'd ever razzed me about dancing. My sisters and my mom, who didn't have a clue who I was. The men of Stone who'd hurt Aunt Frida. Stan's parents for being stupid and incompetent. So simple. I talked Mum into letting me eat in my room that night. Mad and Beth brought me in a tray. They looked unusually small as they entered the room. Sorry about before, Benjo. Too much all at once. Must be tired, and you need... I held up my hand like a crossing guard. Could you ever, in your lives, talk one at a time? Finish one complete sentence? Well, you don't have to be rude, huffed Mad, and she stormed out of the room. She should really consider nursing if the acting thing doesn't work out. Beth smiled as she put down the tray. We're worried about you, Benny. Do you think you could just call me Ben? She reached out a hand, I think, to ruffle my hair, but stopped herself. Sure, of course. We're just used to you being the, baby. She smiled apologetically. Look what I made, she said proudly, lifting the napkin. Hamburgers. I smiled, even though it hurt my split lip. On a bed of greens, I added. She shrugged. I couldn't help myself. Bon appetit. She turned to the doorway. Mum said you didn't see who beat you up. I grunted. Her eyes narrowed. You're not going to do anything stupid, are you? Who, me? Sensible and sensitive me? Ben. Don't sink to their level. It's not safe. What do you want me to do, Beth? Just lie down and take it? There are other ways. Look at Jesus. Look at Gandhi. Violence is for barbarians. Gandhi and Jesus? So what? My options are assassination or crucifixion? Beth leaned against the door. Enjoy your burger, Ben, she said in a tired voice, and left. I tried to eat my meal, but I wasn't hungry. What did she want from me? What did any of them want from me? All my life they told me about the man I should never become, the know-it-all, the brute, the insensitive goof, the guy who never listens. What about the man I should become? They never said anything about that. Fish brought my homework by. I heard him clumping down the hallway, pretty much ruling out future employment as a spy. He came into the room carrying 2 plates piled high with chocolate cake and ice cream. "Man, you live in heaven," he declared, handing me a plate. "And Beth? She's really cute. Why, I've never noticed her before. Maybe because you're supposed to be in love with Melody? A guy can look, can't he?" "Well, don't let Sam see you looking," I answered, forgetting for a second that Sam was gone. The room felt heavier immediately. "Why don't you focus on Joni?" I tried, but it didn't help. Fish shook his head, his mouth full of chocolate cake. He swallowed. She scares me. She's so ferocious, or something. Welcome to my world, buddy. Besides, there's something about a dame who can cook." We spent the next 30 seconds demolishing the cake. Fish shoved his plate under the chair before leaning back on 2 legs, his size 12 feet on my bed. "You really look pretty bad," he said thoughtfully. "Kind of yellow and oozing." "Thanks." "Yellow and oozing," he repeated. "That sounds good. Stan would like that." "We gotta stop talking like he's dead, Fish. We have to find him. Do something." "I know. But if the police can't find him, what chance do we have?" Helpless. The word might have flashed across our chests like a subtitle in a foreign movie. I could see Aunt Frida's face pressed against the fence, watching Henry trap inside. Claude. Fight back. "Did you check out the gym?" I asked. "When can we start?" "Buddy," Fish pulled his feet off the bed, leaning forward. "You look like a salmon that just swam upstream." "You really are a poet, man." "Forget how I look. I'm ready. Listen, I'm the first one to say Claude needs the crap kicked out of him, but give it a couple days, okay?" "Okay," I agreed reluctantly. He dug into his knapsack and pulled out a notebook. He handed me a math sheet and an English assignment. "Shepard stopped me in the hallway today." I swallowed twice to keep my throat open. He would have told Fish about the other thing. He wouldn't have told Fish about the other thing, would he? What Claude and his creeps had put around my legs. "He's still on the warpath," I managed to get out. I didn't tell him anything. He thought I would. "He's hopeless." I relaxed a little. "Fish wouldn't be able to look me in the eye if he knew. He just wants to help, Ben." "You don't think I should tell him?" My voice rose a notch. "No way. Claude would be suspended for a couple days. Get to look like the bad boy. Forget it. There's nothing they can do." Good. It was official. It was up to me. I went to bed early that night, determined to get sleep I needed to recover. Suddenly my whole life revolved around revenge. Nothing else mattered, except for Stan, but somehow it all seemed connected. If I could get Claude, beat him down, erase him, Stan would come home and things would be better. Okay, it didn't make sense in any logical way, but it made sense to me. Stop. My hands. My hands were tied behind my back and ropes dug into the wrists. Blood was seeping around the ropes, thickening and congealing. Stop. My skin was crawling. Something was actually crawling under it, black and shiny, hard, alive. Lice. I tried to lift my head, open my eyes, but they stayed plastered shut, swollen and full of pus. If I didn't wake up, I was going to die. The room was shrinking, and then something warm touched my hand and the ropes fell away. Something warm and dry and soft. A hush filled my brain and my eyelids separated. Aunt Frida was beside the bed. Her hand stroked mine gently. "Shh, Nayo, rest, min Bengal." My head fell against the pillow and I slept. In the morning there was no sign that Aunt Frida had actually been there, but I could have sworn. I maneuvered my aching body out of bed and dressed for school. One more day of tender loving care and I'd be ready for the loony bin. I looked into Aunt Frida's room, but she was sound asleep. When I entered the kitchen, Joni glanced up from the paper. Beth was posted at the stove, and Mad was pulling out some impossible yoga position on the floor. They all seemed surprised to see me. "Morning," I said, normal as I could be, trying not to wince as I sat down. "Good morning, Master Ben. How nice to see you up and about this lovely morning," Mad said in a clipped tone. She put her hands to her face. My goodness, did I actually speak in a full and complete sentence? I grabbed a muffin from the basket. "Get over it." Mad stretched her torso along her legs like a human paperclip. "So you're the man now, huh, Ben?" said Joni. "One thrashing in your what, Rowa brother?" I reached for part of the paper. "Shut up." She walked out of the room. "Where's Mum?" I asked Beth. "Early class. She thought you'd sleep till noon." "You're not going to school today, are you?" "I'm fine." "Like we care," Mad said, pulling herself into a standing position. She grabbed a muffin. "I've got rehearsal today, Beth. I won't be home for dinner." "Good luck. Break a leg," Beth called after her. I kept my head bent over the paper. When I looked up again, Beth was sitting beside me. She reached out a hand and brushed her fingertips on my bruised face. "Don't touch me," I lurched back like I'd been burned. Her eyes filled with tears. What did he do to you? When I didn't answer, she, too, left the room. End of chapter 13.